What's up, thresholds of reality people? You know, thresholds of reality is starting to become a community of people, all kind of a like mind that we're wanting to understand the greater world out there, the greater universe that we live in. And we were going to have a paranormal investigator come on the show tonight, and hopefully she's doing okay and everything's fine, and we'll just have to reschedule and have her on some other time. So this is a bit of an impromptu replacement show. And Kyle had sent me some footage today that he and his wife took from their backyard. And so we're going to take a look at that and talk about it, as long as you guys want to talk about it, and then we will call it a night. So first off, Kyle, why don't you set up the clip, and then we'll show the clip.
Okay. It's in my phone. Oh, yeah, hold on. See how impromptu this is? Let me bring it up real quick. Yeah, we were just sitting there. You want to do the theme first?
Oh, yeah, let's do the theme.
It gives me time to set it up.
Fair enough. Here we go. Strap in as we examine the edges of the unknown. All right.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say what our exchange was. So as I'm getting ready to head out for the day, Kyle sends me a clip, 24-second clip, and at first I was like, Brian says, "You tore your shorts."
I almost did last night at the concert. It was so crazy.
Shorts. He sends me this clip. He says, "What do you think this is?" And I'm looking at it. What's up, Jedi? Hey, yeah, just so everybody knows, we were going to have a guest on tonight, and last second she canceled. But we don't want to leave you guys without something to think about. So we're going to try and zoom in a little bit. Can you zoom in at all? Because we want to get the relevant portion here. There we go.
Okay, let's see.
Is that a play button in the middle, or do you have to go? Okay.
So.
All right, so notice this bright spot, and it started at about 10:30. And then ends at about a little after midnight. So this is a time lapse in the middle of the night of a bright orb floating over Kyle's backyard.
And you can even see like a little trail behind it.
Now, Kyle, which direction does your yard face?
My yard faces east. So it's facing like towards east.
Jedi says, "What the F is that?" Yeah, that's the name of this episode. What the F is this thing?
So what happened was I have a camera in my front yard, a camera in my backyard, camera in my side yard and I bought this backyard camera because that house that's behind me, the guy what I soon to find out is he ditches his probation officer, and he chops our yard and runs. But we didn't know that, so we bought a backyard camera. And usually the only thing we catch now is cats. But as my wife was going through last night's footage, because you could see right after this happens, you'll start to see it picked up motion, which is usually a cat. And she goes, pretty much the same thing. What the fuck is that? And she sends it to me, and I look at it, and I try to, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, well, maybe it's the moon, maybe it's, she's like, yeah, but the moon never has like a trail behind it. And I was like, that's true. So she's like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. And she looked at 2 nights prior at the same time. And
do you have any of those comparison clips?
No, because I didn't think we were going to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
But so usually the moon is usually way over here in the corner, and it's not.
Can you show us with your mouse where it usually is?
I thought I was. Let me scoot this over. So the moon sometimes is usually like barely right here in the corner around that time. And we went back, and like I said, she went back 2 nights through the same period, and there's nothing there. Yeah, that's the part that caught me, was this right here. That little like trail that follows it afterwards.
Okay, so at the rate it's moving through the sky, it does look a lot like the moon. It does look like the moon to me. But I'm trying to get like a sense of what.
Let me do this. Let's talk about this for a minute. Give me a second. I will bring up the night before. I'll bring up Sunday nights.
Okay.
At the same time, and I'll try to see if I can.
All right. So according to timeanddate.com, Moon USA Phoenix, the moon.
Your screen. Or not.
I only have the one screen. Let me see if I can share it though. Share screen. Let's do a Chrome tab.
And that'll give me a minute to.
This one. All right. So if we look at, see, what was Sunday? Sunday was the 14th.
So this happened on the 15th. This was Monday night.
So moonrise was at 9:42. What does it say? Moonrise was at 9:40, or moonset was at 9:42 a.m. Moonrise was at 9:48 p.m. And then it would have set the next day at 10:45 a.m. or 9:20, so 9:28 p.m. to 9:42 a.m.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
So here.
So Jedi saying that is a full-blown UFO with a vapor trail. The only issue with that is how slow it was moving.
I don't know how my wife did it. Here, you know what? Maybe I could bring it up on. I can actually go to Ring. Let me do that. She knows how to screen record. I don't. I'm so dumb with my phone. I use it for basic things. You think I would be better at that stuff, but let's see. Do you think? I mean, I don't think the moon is usually there, like that low in the sky at that time.
Yeah.
And that's
no, I agree. I agree. It's not usually that way, but you're facing east. It is kind of moving in that sort of path. The only question is that where it's supposed to be?
Was there a full moon Friday night? I don't think there was.
Let's see. So the moon phase right now, the last full moon was on the 11th. So it's going to be a waning moon, but it's still pretty full.
So Jedi, that was 8:15 on 8:15 at about 10. Was it about like 11:30ish Arizona
Like
time?
10:30 to about midnight.
So let me bring up.
Oh, Brian, you're getting political on us.
So I can't look at it the same way that I can't look at it on the ring the same. Can you record the same time the day before the ring camera?
Yeah.
Because our person canceled, and now we're talking about that.
Like I sent you the other one, just do that.
Yeah. So I can't look at it the same way as it on the phone.
Jedi says, so the control video will have to be tonight. You got to watch your cameras again tonight.
So we'll do the same thing. And then, we'll look up Sunday night.
Mow your grass.
I know, right? It's been so much rain here.
Yeah, we've got a lot of rain.
Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't. Dashboard. Let me see if I can do it. Nah, it doesn't let you do it the same online or on the app.
What was the time that I did on there that I sent you?
The time was
The start and the end.
about 11:45 p.m.
No, the start was not.
The start was not. Hold on. The start was 10:19. Mow your grass.
10:19.
You come mow my grass, hippie.
You just saw that.
I try to get people to mow it. They're too expensive. So let me exit out of this. So what do you guys think it is out there? Like a couple people that are watching.
I'll need about tree giddy. Tree giddy, tree fitty.
It's cheaper than the couple ones that I got. The couple quotes. I have like the tiniest backyard too, and people want these astronomical amounts to mow it.
How much are they offering for?
I think the last quote was $450.
For mowing your lawn?
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Like we weed eated it like what? Like an hour and a half? Like with a weed eater.
$450. That's insane, man.
And
I got people
the dude originally the guy had offered, like, I had gotten a quote, like I sent him a couple pictures, and he was like, I could probably do that for like $150 or something. And I was like,
yeah, that's more like it.
okay, I'll do. And he got there. Dude didn't show up with a mower. He showed up in a car with a weed eater. And he was like, "Oh, This is too much. I have to go." And then he came back and said, "It's got to be $450." Yes, Jedi, you're 100 under the current bid. Like it would literally, like if I had a lawnmower with the bag, it would probably take like 6 minutes to mow my backyard.
Jeez.
That's
Jedi.
that's the true conspiracy that we're here talking about tonight.
Yeah. Fixing lawn prices.
So
Yeah, I think it's the moon. Are we putting up the screen yet?
I'm waiting for.
Pretty sure it's the moon. It's just it was at an odd time for it to be. So here's the 13th. You can see the moon on the 13th. The other days it's too cloudy.
Okay, so we have it from the 13th.
But like the time.
All right.
Lots of different times. And
That'll do. Thank you, Nubia.
you're welcome.
So okay, so let me get it loaded up. Bummer, it's just the moon.
We thought we had something.
Okay, so this is the 13th. So let me go down.
Jedi says, thanks, Kyle's wife. You're the MVP in that house.
She knows that.
All right. So here we are about the same time. Looks cloudy.
I don't see the moon.
It looks very cloudy.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
It was way up there.
Way
Yeah,
up there.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like way up there. It's in a different.
Yeah, but the Earth doesn't stay. It won't stay in the exact same path from night to night. It moves a little bit over time. So if it's going to be in that kind of third quadrant there, over the course of time, it will move across the sky, kind of wiggles back and forth.
Yeah, but that's way up there for that. This other one was like way.
Yeah, it's because it was a cloudy night. You could see the clouds in the background.
Whatever. I'm sticking to it's an orb.
It
Lifting up.
is an orb. It's an enormous orb orbiting from space.
I remember a few months back, I was talking to my. Thank you, Jedi.
Thanks, Jedi. Yeah. It's
Fuck.
Tuesday night. You're hitting the strip club on a Tuesday night.
Good for you.
Hey, the night's still young, man. You still got plenty of time.
But I was at work a couple nights, or it was a few months ago, and we were talking about solar energy and stuff. And I was like, yeah, you get less solar energy, at night because, there's not as much sunlight. It's like, well, what about the moonlight? And I was like, what do you mean? What about the moonlight? He's like, the moon produces light. And I said, no, the moon is not a ball of fusion.
Yeah, right.
He's like, no, every night you could see it. And I was like, that's called sunlight reflecting off of the moon, lighting up the moon. No, it's moonlight. The moon produces light. We just see it better. You're right. We do see it better at night. He's like, no, the moon produces its own light. It took me about 45 minutes to convince him that the moon wasn't its own ball of light that is produced.
Here's the thing, though, Kyle. The moon does produce its own light. It's just so faint that we can't see it from Earth. It does, but it does, though. It does produce its own light. It's just very, very faint.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it sure does. It does, man. The moon is a trippy thing. We think we know the moon. We don't know the moon, man. We don't know the moon at all.
The moon is lit up because of the sun.
Yeah. Generally speaking, yes, that's true. 99.999% of the light that we get from the moon is just reflected sunlight. But there are other lights on the moon. I'm telling you, this is real. Also, if we're talking moon facts, How about, did you know that there is a theory out there that the moon is hollow?
I could.
There's a hollow moon theory, and then there's a spaceship moon theory. Both of them equally trippy. There was the Apollo moon missions. The Apollo moon missions. One of them, they dropped their lunar rover from the spaceship, from the shuttle, and when it hit the moon, they had these like
the moon does not produce its own light.
They had these. No, it does. They had these seismic sensors, and when it collided with the moon, it rang like a bell. They said the moon rang like a bell. I don't know if that was just a metaphor.
They didn't make it to the moon to hear it ring like a bell. It was probably lunchtime, and everybody was clocking out. Like,
dude, this is real. I mean, Bart Sibrel is going to argue with us about that. But if you're the type of person who does believe in the moon landing, after they left the moon, they dropped something. One of the times they left the moon, they dropped something, and it hit the surface of the moon, and the waves of it was like the ringing of a bell. And yes, the moon does produce its own light. Very little bit, but it does. If you look at the moon, you can see little, like high res photo of the moon. You can see little lights, little like sparkly bits on the moon.
Yes, it's stuff that's reflecting off the sunlight of the moon.
No, I'm telling you, it's on the dark side of the moon. You can see them. It's like phosphorescence or something, like glow in the dark stuff.
Nope. I can believe glow in the dark stuff, but it's not producing its own light.
What do you think glow in the dark does?
No.
Glow in the dark is bioluminescence. It's light, but without the heat.
Yeah, see, Jedi's not buying your shit either.
Well, you know what, Jedi? It's okay. You know, we're here to just look at it. We're just talking about it.
Let's see. Let me see this website right here.
Is this Hollow Moon?
Hold on, I'm trying to find. This is livescience.com.
Dude, why are we looking at... You got to look at weird moonlights.
You're right.
That's Google. Weird moonlights.
You're right. So let me try to find... I can't find anything that says that. Let me see.
This is like the battle. It's like the battle of the internet searchers.
Moon has its own light Bible.
All right. From CNET, June 3rd, 2019. For centuries, people have noticed odd flashes and other inexplicable lights on the surface of the moon. That's what I'm talking about. Possible explanations range from meteors to moonquakes to UFOs, but they have yet to be proven. So-called lunar transient phenomena can refer to flashes of lights on the moon that are either fleeting or longer lasting. All right, let's see if we can... Oh, yeah, here we go. This page has a little GIF that we could share.
The rapper B.O.B. does believe the moon generates its own light.
Like, I'm not here to tell you that the moon is producing all of its own light. But look, you can see here in this little, there's just a little flash, right? Little flashes here and there. Okay.
Those are alien tourists taking pictures.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's light coming from the moon. It's insignificant. It's infinitesimal compared to the sunlight, but it's there. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. I got you. I believe that's a group of alien tourists. Little alien cameras. Taking pictures
All
of
right.
the crater.
So what's the weirdest thing you've ever heard about the moon?
What you just said.
Okay. The hollow. You want to talk about hollow moon or the moon ringing like a bell?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's find that.
Moon is hollow in Naruto.
In Naruto? Do you watch Naruto?
It just came up when I Googled it.
Oh. All right. So this is from Wikipedia. Are you sharing something funny?
No.
From Wikipedia. Oh, Brian says, that's Luther Hargreaves saying hello in Morse code.
Help me, I'm stuck.
Brian loves the hollow moon theory. All right, let me pull this screen up.
I partly believe it's hollow because if we found out there was actually something worth it in there, we would have drilled the shit out of it.
Right. All right. So between 1969 and 1977, seismometers installed on the moon by the Apollo missions recorded moonquakes. The moon was described as ringing like a bell during some of those quakes, specifically the shallow ones. The phrase was brought to popular attention in March 1970 in an article in Popular Science. And then if we look, can you see, did I zoom in on that? Is that better? Yeah. So this is just like a speculative cutaway of the moon. This is like the spaceship moon being like some sort of core that keeps it warm so that people can live there. And, you know, obviously you could fit a lot of stuff inside the moon. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of space in the moon.
That's where I should start putting my comic books.
In the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Free
had
up my house a little bit.
If you had a locker the size of the moon, you could fit a lot of comic books in there. All the comic books would fit in there. You could fit all the comic books ever and not even scratch the surface.
Here
Well,
we go. 10 surprising moon facts that were totally wrong.
all right, let's see them.
Number 1.
Wait, let's share the screen.
The moon has been the same size for millions of years.
I mean, I'm going to challenge these because, quite honestly, there are theories that the moon just appeared in the sky about 10,000 years ago. That's one of the things that the spaceship that support the spaceship moon theory. We don't know. Like no one recorded how the moon got here. No one knows. No one knows anything about. No one really knows that much about the moon. But what does this say? This says what? The moon is shrinking?
Yes, it says for years, scientists thought that the moon's volcanic activity ceased hundreds of millions of years ago with the interior cooling and the crust that no longer retracting in size. But it turns out that isn't the case. The moon is in fact shrinking. Data gathered during the Apollo program and again by the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter in the 2000s that the moon's fault lines are still active and producing moonquakes, like you said. This has led scientists to believe that it's highly likely the moon's crust is still retracting in size. Now, the moon isn't going to be the size of a football anytime soon, but it's thought to have only shrunk at about 150 feet in a few million years, so chances are that the moon will still be here when we go back in 2024.
That's not going to happen. No one's going to the moon.
The moon is a dry, barren wasteland.
Oh, what do we see here? We see water. Those are pools of, or traces of water, I should say.
So it says, until recently, it was thought that many scientists that the moon was dry, while Apollo scientists' theory that it was possible that ice could exist on the far side of the moon. No water has been detected on the surface of the atmosphere or in the interior of the moon. That all changed in 2009 when water was discovered in trace amounts. Then in 2010, it was uncovered that it has 100 times more water than previously thought. So it's got about 100 gallons.
Instead of just one.
Yeah. 8 years later, it was discovered that ice was actually at the moon's poles, mimicking Earth's, and the fact that there was water in the interior. This revelation has much of what we know about the moon, with its whole history upended, and this has led to the list of theories that the moon did give Earth its water. Nice. Can you imagine that? Watch that travel. Oh,
Yeah.
water to come. Number 3, the moon is made out of cheese. Not even
There's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics. This is false.
full moon makes people go insane.
Well, yeah, that's where the word lunatic comes from, right?
So I will say that Nubia will tell you that this is 100% accurate, that it makes people go insane. Because she dreads going to work at night during a full moon.
Are the customers rowdier than normal?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get her.
Well,
It says,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, the word lunatic, luna meaning moon, lunacy, lunatic, yeah, something that people have been saying for a long time, centuries.
So we're doing 10 things that have been like debunked. It says the full moons make people go insane.
Oh no, it's real.
See, that's what I was just saying. It's
Being both a teacher and a bartender, it's real.
Hey, I hear
It
you.
doesn't make people go insane, but it's different. I think it has something to do with like how the moons control the tide, right? Well, the human body is 65% water, so maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know, but people definitely are different, kids and adults.
Hey, it's plausible. It's testable.
So she always thinks, she's like, oh, she always goes, oh no, the crazies are going to be out tonight. Number 5, there are bat-winged humanoids on the moon. How fucking cool would that be? Naked bat-wing people.
Freaking. Sorry, I froze.
That was 1835. That's what people thought. Here's number 6. Hitler lived in a Nazi lunar base. That's a pretty big stretch.
Yeah, there's a movie about that.
Here's that the moon is hollow.
Yeah, so they're talking about the experiment.
Yeah.
1969. If everybody's safely back, the command module, they crash landed their lunar module on the moon. It landed with a force of 1 ton of TNT, which caused a moonquake that peaked at minute 8 and took a full hour to dissipate. So the echo of that collision just echoed for an hour.
That'd be kind of cool to hear.
And it said that the scientists said that the moon was ringing like a bell. Now I think that's a metaphor. They're making a metaphor for how the collision waves kind of echoed through the surface of the moon, but maybe it did actually ring like a bell. I don't know.
Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing, and this is what we're going to get into when we have our
Bart Sibrel.
Yes. So I won't really read off that one because I think that's going to be part of his
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it.
The U.S. flags are still standing.
I don't think that's true.
It says, starting with Apollo 11, every Apollo mission planted an American flag. Why do we always leave junk everywhere we go? Not saying the American flag is junk, but like we're a messy civilization.
Well, I think it's just like you
source
want
of-
something permanent to be there.
It says a source of, I know I was making a bad joke, damn it. A source of pride. The hope is that we would be there forever, or at least a very long time. Well, that doesn't seem to be quite true. Aldrin reported that he saw the famed Apollo 11 flag get knocked over by the rocket blast as the astronauts departed. In 2008, this Air and Spacecraft magazine postulated that this probably means that the flag has long since deteriorated after it was purchased for $5.50. In 2012, though, NASA reported that the flags are still standing, but are probably badly faded due to the harsh ultraviolet light and sudden temperature changes on the lunar surface. In other words, they're like ragged, washed out pieces of white cloth. So much for the stars and stripes flying forever.
Oh, well, that's a pretty cynical point of view. Popular mechanics. Jeez.
Number 10. The moon is a hologram.
That's got to be from Dragon Ball Z fans, because that's how they dealt with the moon being gone.
So it says, just like the Matrix, nothing is real, everything is fake. We all live in a computer simulation, blah, blah, blah. It says, according to one, the moon is partially real in that it's a lot smaller than we think. However, when we see a full moon, that's just aliens creating a hologram so that they can have secret projects without Earthlings knowing what they are doing. This must be true because it was backed up in a research paper written by a Russian scientist. While the moon being a hologram does seem a little bit wacky, well-known astrophysicist Paul Sutter did make a valid point in a Space.com article last year about the probability that everything is just a hologram. Even if we did live in a hologram, wrote Sutter, we wouldn't necessarily be able to tell the difference anyway. So there you go.
Well, I like that. I think that was kind of a fun little deal, but
that looked like a Popular Mechanics article.
Yeah, they're kind of dumping on the old US of A, man.
Yeah, a little bit there. The Hollow Man theory. Is the moon an artificial satellite? That's what you kind of showed, huh?
Yeah.
So, kind of cool.
Yeah, there was I saw some studies about the hollow moon, about the spaceship theory, and about this idea that the moon is a recent arrival in Earth's history. That there's parts of recorded history that predate the moon appearing in the sky, or they don't talk about the moon in the sky. And that's pretty fascinating. I don't know. I'll have to dig up some more dirt on that and see if we can find anything. But Kyle, appreciate you showing your backyard footage. I think it's the moon. It could be something else.
What's awesome though is we had something that we thought odd, and we found a way to debunk it.
Yeah. Could have been. I mean, it could still be. It could be anything. To me, it looks like.
And I guess at that point, the trails are just the clouds because it's been cloudy.
Yeah, could be anything. But to me personally, now that I've seen it with my eyes up close, on my phone, it was really hard to tell what it was. But I think from this angle, I'm gonna say it's the moon. And the moon is cool. There's so much stuff on the moon that we could talk about, and we're gonna let Bart convince us that the moon landing was fake. What am I looking at?
I wonder if you could still buy acres of the moon. You used to be able.
People were buying acres on the moon.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to hear some crazy stuff? So the leaders of the Mormon Church, Joseph Smith, Brigham Young, they all believed that there were people who lived on the moon and dressed like Quakers.
I mean, who knows?
Well, since modern science, that's pretty uncommon that anybody would think that. But lunarland.com, buy yourself some acres of land on the moon. Oceanfront, a sea of tranquility front property.
See, for $30, you get an acre of lunar land, a lunar deed, a map, and our pledge, and it's registered.
I don't think that's enforceable, to be honest.
It's not.
But
the premium gift package, you get the landowner's name printed on the deed.
Nice.
For even more money, they'll send it to you in a frame.
Dude, I think this is weirder than anything else we've talked about.
I just remember on Howard Stern, they used to, this company used to talk about it all. They used to advertise it.
Lunar land.
Look at that, dude. 20 acres, $250. Can't beat it.
Infinite Verth.
Dude. Wouldn't it suck, though, you bought all this acres on the moon and then you still have a freaking neighbor? Some dude that lives right by you.
Oh my gosh, it's like when you go take a pee and there's 10 urinals, but somebody walks right up to the one right next to you.
Yep, it's the same thing.
Freaking get out of my space.
The first companies in the world to file for legal trademark and a copyright for the sale of extraterrestrial property within the confines of our solar system. Don't be fooled by lunar land companies with no claim.
Jedi says, and he won't blow his backyard.
Hey, man, it's hot here.
Oh, yeah. You know, the thing that you need to pay attention here is that trademark and copyright have nothing to do with land rights.
Hey, it's bold on a website, on the internet. That's all you need to know.
It is pretty bold. 20 acres on the moon for $250.
Dude, that's
prime real estate.
Could you imagine getting there and realizing I spent $250 for nothing?
For nothing. What's your favorite movie that deals with the moon?
I don't have one.
Did you see Ad Astra with Brad Pitt?
Mm-mm.
So boring. It's the most boring movie ever. But they did have this really cool scene where they're like fighting moon pirates on lunar rovers, and they're like zooming past and shooting each other with harpoons and stuff. It was really cool.
I like how they're
only cool part of that movie.
Right here. This is one of their selling points: futuristic packaging.
Ooh, I bet it's got like shiny foil packaging, like a space blanket or astronaut food, freeze-dried astronaut food. Did you ever have astronaut food as a kid?
No.
They tried to get us excited about space by feeding us astronaut food. And I was like, this is what they have to eat up there? It's not very good. It's like old Starbursts.
Yuck.
Yeah. I think their cuisine has improved a lot since then. I think now that they're getting something like you could like inject water into it and then it heats it up, and you could have like lasagna and hamburgers and stuff. Yeah, I think they've improved their cuisine by quite a bit. Otherwise, people wouldn't want to be astronauts as much.
Forget the moon.
You know, we don't hear
Mars, baby. I'm going for Mars.
Yeah, right. Mars standard gift package. There you go. You know what we don't hear a lot about is the Space Force.
No, that died out pretty quick.
Well, it's still part of the military.
I know,
You
but
can still enlist to the Space Force. You just don't hear a lot about it. Like, how are they doing? How are those guys doing? Are they getting anywhere?
I think they're just doing a lot of this right now. A lot of twiddling their thumbs.
Do they have funding?
There's not a whole lot to do right now.
Let's just go see what's going on with the old Space Force. Just real quick. What do they call themselves? They're not commandos. I forget what they're called.
Monkeypox.
Yeah, why do we care about monkeypox? Why are we looking at monkeypox? Let's see some of these photos. Well, got a lot of people in suits. Don't see a lot of space going on. A lot of people on the ground.
What's the maximum age to join Space Force?
Okay, quick links. Join the Space Force. Oh, I'm being tracked.
Stupid cookies.
Gotta get a different screen. It went to a different tab.
I wouldn't mow my backyard in space either, Jedi. Don't worry.
Some people look to the stars and ask, what if? Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. Look at that. Scroll. Our job is to have an answer. Oh, that's neat. It's kind of a neat graphic. But how old? Well, they've got military careers and civilian careers. So maybe if you're too old for military, you can still get civilian. I think 39 is the oldest you can be.
Let's see what the civilian career opportunities are.
All right, let's go take a look at civilian careers. Join the U.S. Space Force. Marvin the Martian impression for all you space buffs. Career fields. Let's take a look at that. Acquisitions, administration, contracting, cybersecurity, developmental engineering, financial management, information technology. Kyle, isn't that what you do?
Yes.
Intelligence. Ooh. Not a whole
Maybe
lot of that.
there, I actually want to go to work every day.
Program management, science and engineering, space operations. What?
Maybe working there, they won't tell me. It's your fucking job.
Key skills and abilities to work in space operations. Managing space flight training, planning mission control, and other activities involving recovering and launching spacecraft. Developing space operation policies. Establishing training standards and requirements for all space systems. Bachelor's or Master's of Science degree. Well, I'm out. My math degree is not going to hold up. That's neat. I kind of like that. This could be cool. I think if you're going to join a branch of the military right now, Space Force is probably the way to go.
Yeah, I agree. As long as it doesn't, because eventually it's going to end up like, what's that movie called where they have to go fight the bugs?
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be scary. But I think if my boys are wanting to join the military, my oldest son wants to be a pilot, so maybe he should go join the Space Force Troopers.
I wanted to be a pilot until I realized I was too tall. I would have ended up like Goose.
Yeah, don't end up like Goose, man. We're going to take care of each other. All right. Jedi says, go directly to a recruiter, Kyle. Do it for your country.
I'm going to.
Go claim us. some land on the moon, man. Show up with your deed and be like, I spent $250 for this.
I need to go here.
105 acres. Is a moon acre the same as an earth acre?
Yes, an acre is an acre.
But is it?
But is it?
Yeah, it probably is.
Imagine going out there, putting in your barbed wire and
trying to keep your neighbor's space cows off your property.
yeah.
Oh, man. Well,
thanks for everybody for hanging out with our impromptu.
Wow, we were improvising. We were trying to cover for our missing guest tonight. Hopefully she gets a chance to come back on. She is a real person, but she had some emergency issues to deal with tonight, and we do hope that she's doing all right. But Brian and Jedi, thank you guys for cracking wise with us. You guys it's always awesome when you guys tune in and dial in and share your jokes. You guys are great. So
one of these times we'll have to get what's her name back on to talk about what she came later to fulfill my question from when we interviewed her.
You talking about Jessica Morocco?
Yeah. So I took that as two people. Two separate things. The way I read it.
You took it as two people?
Yes.
Oh, maybe we should share what she said. Hi, Brick. It's my daughter, Brick.
Yeah, go ahead. We got a few minutes to kill.
All right, let's see. What did she say?
So when we interviewed her, she said she could see what made
shadow.
me prompt. Yeah, stuff like that, and she was psychic as well. So
yes.
So I asked her if she sees anything around me. So if you guys go back to that episode, I asked her, and I originally just thought she had just blown over my question, and we just continued to go.
But the next day, she sent an email.
Was it the next day?
Yeah, she sent it August 5th, and I just saw it just yesterday. I don't know why it didn't. I guess I get so much spam email, it's hard for me to get all my emails. But she says, and I'll just read it. Can you tell Kyle I saw a shadow being behind him? An old man with white hair and black-rimmed glasses. Average weight and height. He was wearing Well, hang on. So he was wearing a white shirt buttoned up with a white T-shirt underneath. The sleeves were short. I also saw a jackal, which was a familiar for him when he had a life practicing the arts of illusion, magic, sort of a druid lifetime.
So I had originally took that as there's a old guy that hangs out with me, and then in my past life, I practiced magic and I dressed like a druid.
Whereas
the jackal, and I had like a jackal mask.
Yeah, that's one way to read it. That's definitely one way to look at it. I also saw it that way. But I read it again and I was like, maybe what she's saying is the person that she saw, the shadow being she saw, was the magic druid with the jackal. Yeah, and it's hard for me to parse it out just from that language. Could be either way. I think it could be either way. So we'll have to talk to Jessica again and see what details she can fill in. Just to keep you guys up to date, we have an interview on Thursday night scheduled as well at 7 p.m. With another Phoenix local paranormal investigator. Hopefully. And yeah, I mean she's probably not going to cancel. I don't think she'll cancel. But you never know. Could happen. Fingers crossed.
Life comes up. We understand.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we have an interview Thursday night. I think we also have another one at noon on Friday.
I think that's the Moon Debunker.
I think that's Bart Sibrel. Yeah, let's take a look at our next.
So anybody listening or anybody listens later, let me know how you interpreted her message, because it is a little hard to
open to interpretation. Yeah, Bart Sibrel's on Friday at noon. And he's only got an hour, which is all we ever take. But he's going to tell us he's a lunar skeptic or a moon landing skeptic. And he's produced movies and all kinds of stuff, materials that you can review, and he will convince you beyond a shadow of a doubt the moon landing was fake.
like the shadow behind me.
It's a jackal.
Give me 5.
You know what Oh, hey, Shane. Good day, gentlemen. Hi from Australia.
How's it going?
Hey, tuning in. Yeah, I feel like the jackal is kind of a bad sign. Like the only thing I know of it's a jackal is Anubis, right? The god of death from ancient Egypt.
That used to protect them.
Did it?
Yes. They're the ones that helped you. That I think, as far as I remember, they're the ones that helped you go.
They escorted you to the underworld? Like a Grim Reaper?
Yeah, because I was kind of looking it up. I googled jackal druid.
Symbology.
Like I did like jackal and druid clothing. I think that's what I looked up.
All right. It says jackals inhabit 3 regions: Africa, Asia, Southeastern Europe. Okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. The jackal spirit animal arrives in your awareness when you need to be cunning and enterprising. Jackals are smart and cunning. They know how to outsmart.
That's not rubbing off on me.
I know. I feel like I'm getting dumber by the day, but oh well. You only live once, man. Smart and cunning. People with a jackal totem animal seem surrounded by mystery. There is always a twinkle in their eyes, as if they know something important. Such individuals are shrewd and streetwise. Damn. That was from spiritanimals.com. Well,
spirit animal.
I think that probably, it didn't end up being a short after all. We ended up putting in a full episode. Full hour. But hey, when people cancel on you last second, and you're not at work and you can deal with it, yeah, we're just going to put in that hour. Put in work. We do it for you guys. Because we love exploring the weird. We love talking about stuff that, you don't bring up in polite company. And
I hope this is what the jackal behind me looks like.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
Whoa. That's very anubicular.
Or like that. Yeah.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah. But I was looking at it and it was, the god of the dead. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The god of the dead.
Your shadow being. Death dogs. See, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would want a jackal being in my shadow being.
Says,
yeah.
Shane here says right here.
Anubis was the one who fed people's souls to Amut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bro, is that what you want in your shadow?
It's worked pretty good so far.
You are kind of a familiar with the dead, you know. Amit. Oh, Amit. The Amit was featured pretty heavily in that Moon Knight show.
Mhm.
Um, you are kind of a guide of the dead, aren't you, Kyle?
Yes, I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. Look at that.
Well,
Jackals were
anything
top
else?
dog right here. Look at this.
You gonna buy one?
That's all I'm gonna buy now.
Enough
The
guinea
bo-
pigs,
Look at
jackals.
Divine power. Jackals were top dogs. They preserved over the mummification in the afterlife.
There you go. Anything else you want to cover before we call it a night?
No.
All right.
Yeah, see, it says right here, he was not only protector, but he was the overseer of all stages of transition from death into the afterlife, including judgment. Yeah. Fuck. Remember that.
Joe, thanks for tuning in. What up, nerds? We're such nerds. We are nerds. We're all nerds.
So that's pretty awesome. I'm cool with that.
We've been having a lot of like weird stuff, weird things kind of coming up. We had some lights go out in the bathroom, and my wife's like, "This never would have happened if you hadn't started that podcast." I'm like, "Babe, lights burn out. It doesn't have to be a ghost." She's like, "Look, it's ghost." Yeah,
I like it.
it's fine. Jersey to the Bay. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. So if you guys missed it earlier, to everyone that's showing up late, is we thought we found something cool on my backyard camera, but with the chats and with everything, we found out it was actually just the moon.
The moon is really cool. The moon is cool. Hey, throw up the video one more time.
Okay. Let me bring
So
it up.
here's the thing: is that if you don't know it's a time lapse, if you don't know if it's not a time lapse, then it definitely looks like a UFO. But as I was watching the time lapse, I was like, that's moving very slow. I think that's the moon.
It just looks so weird, and it might have been because of the clouds.
Thanks, Shane.
I'll bring it
Hey,
up
you guys,
one more time.
don't feel any pressure. Don't feel any pressure to hit like or subscribe or anything. We will continue to deliver the shows for you guys. If you guys feel we've earned a like, give us a like. If you feel we've earned your subscription, please subscribe. But
Right. Stupid moon.
yeah. So here's the video. If you cover up the clock on it, yeah, it definitely looks like. It's like, what is it? What could that be? It's like a flare shooting up in the eye.
Well,
in the
first
sky.
it was like kind of like the moon, but it was until I saw the
Trail. And it's like
Yeah,
stretching
it's
out behind this
this little
trail.
trail. Like it seems like it's following it.
But you know what I think that is? I think that's glare off of something on the lens.
Lens flare.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not there prior.
Stupid moon.
So we're here. We're not here just to report one side. We're also here to debunk as well.
Jedi's convinced that he's starting to get convinced it's something else. Yeah, I might have been if I hadn't seen the other video too. The video with the clouds and the moon hidden behind it.
What's happening is that my grass is pulling the moon down.
The gravitational pull of your unmowed grass. It does look it's a very lush green lawn though, Kyle. You should be proud of that.
Thank you, Arizona monsoons. So that was what we thought. We had something cool. but you know what? I don't mind debunking things as well, like I said. So,
All right, gang. We're going to call it a night. Oh, let me throw up this last. Lights reflecting off Venus, causing gases, reflections. Oh, that's a classic line from Men in Black.
I should get Matt over here to whip that yard into shape.
All right. Well, we will see you guys Thursday night. We have another interview from the local paranormal investigator group. And then again on Friday afternoon, we are talking to a moon landing skeptic, Bart Sibrel. And we'd love if you guys tune in and you pepper him with the questions. I'm sure he would be happy to field all of them.
So it's noon Arizona time.
Yeah. So we're on California time, so it'd be noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
And until then,
do at work.
Yeah.
Take a break from work, watch our interview.
We'll see you guys Thursday night. See you Friday afternoon.
And then again Saturday on Renovision.
And Saturday night.
Before we go do our ghost hunt.
Oh, man, we got so much to do. And so until then, this is a busy week for us. Keep examining the edges. Keep exploring the edges of the unknown.